Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to be showing us how to make this mini bubble skirt. So materials we're going to need today is this is an African print fabric, like the colors, beautiful. And then I'm going to need my scissors, measuring tape, elastic waistband as well. So let's get into the measurements for this. So first things first is I'm going to determine how long I want the skirts to be. This is a mini skirt. I want the length to be 18 inches. I've got this to be 21 inches and the lining would be shorter than this so that by the time it folds in, I would get my 18 inches. And this also includes the hemming allowance and also for the top and the bottom. And then the width of this fabric, African print fabric is usually by 45. So I have cut this 3 times. So what I mean is this 45 inches, 45 inches, and 45 inches. If you do the math, that is 135 inches I'm going to be using for the main fabric of the skirt. Now onto the lining piece. Now for the lining piece, I have got this black lining and the measurement I have got for this one. So the length is 18 inches. So the main one is 21 inches. So by the time I fold it in, it's going to be 18 inches at the end of the day. So that's the length I've got for this one, 18 inches. And now for the width, lining fabric is usually by 60. So I have just cut one. So that's one, as you can see. So my hip measurement is 46 and I've just added an extra 10 inches to it just so it can go past my hips. So this is what I'm going to be using to make the skirt. I've also got the waistband. So I've cut the waistband and this I'm going to be using a 2 inches elastic to fix inside and fold it and all of that nice stuff. Now what I'm going to do now first of all is I'm going to take this fabric to my sewing machine. I would join all 3 pieces together and right side facing. I'll join all of them together. Then I will gather the bottom of the skirt so that it matches the 60 inches of the lining piece. So I would join 3 pieces together, gather the bottom of the skirt so it's up to the 60 inches of the lining piece. And I'll come back and show you what next I'm going to be doing. Okay guys, so what I've done so far is I have gathered the bottom of the skirt, lined it up with the lining. So what I'm going to do now is, so I've gathered the base and I've also gathered the top. So all together, the gathering at the top and at the base is 60 inches because the lining fabric is 60 inches. So what I've done is I have turned the fabric to the right side, so like this. And then I have sewn down the base, as you can see already. And this is the top bit. I've just matched them in like so. I didn't do a gathering stitch because I just thought it's going to take too long. I've just eyeballed it and then just carried on doing the gathering, like just sewn the gathers on until it was up to 60 inches. So that's another way you can do it without having to do the gathering stitch where you're dragging the rope up and down. So this method always works for me. So I just tend to use it without using a gathering stitch. Okay, so now that this is done, I have brought this to the right side. You can see the bubble effect is already showing because this top fabric is quite full compared to the base fabric. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and stitch all the way across. And then I'm going to take this, because I'm using an elastic waistband, as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm going to line this up with this top fabric. I don't think it's up to 60. This is 45. I would add whatever else I've got left just to make this complete. And then I would sew this down. Then I'll come back and show you what I've done. Okay guys, so what I've done so far is the bottom is all nicely finished now. And the top as well, I have sewn the waistband onto the top. I did add part of it, like I said, because that piece wasn't going to be enough. So now that the base of the skirt is done and I have fixed the first part of the waistband, I'm going to close the side of the skirt I left open. After that is done, I would close up the waistband. So I'll fold it in just so it's enough for the elastic to go through it, as you can see me doing on the screen. And then I'm going to use my safety pin, office pin, and pass it through and leave 2 inches just so I'm able to bring it in and sew it all the way down. So I have done the waistband, sewn it both front and back. So what I'm going to start doing now is I would get the elastic and start passing it through the waistband like so, all the way around, and bring it out on the other side. Okay guys, so I finished passing the elastic all through the waistband. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this to the sewing machine. I would stitch this a few times so it doesn't unravel at any point. I would also close this up. When that is nicely closed, I would run a stitch in the middle of the elastic waistband like this, just so it lays nice and flat and it looks really good. Or I could either run one in the middle or just run a few, like two, one here and one here. I would see which one I decide to do and then come back and show you what the skirt looks like. Okay guys, so this is what the skirt looks like. So this is the inside, this is the top, and I'm also going to wear it now just so you can see what the skirt looks like. Okay, this is what the final skirt looks like. It is absolutely beautiful. It's got the elastic waistband. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today and watching all the way till the end. If you enjoyed the content of this video, remember to like and subscribe and click on the bell icon so when I post any upcoming videos, you get notified. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.